Happy Wednesday, everybody. So today we're going to just take a look through our normal critique day. Just going to take a look through the submissions that we have here. So I wanted to start off with Nigel and Ashley. For the two of you, I just wanted to tell you both congratulations. These look great. I think that at this point, I think we're just making minor modifications to make minor modifications. I think that they both look really great, and I think that they are at the point now where I think that you guys should probably go pencils down on both of them and call them done. So I think they're really, really great. Actually, the only thing I would say to you is if you want, just add a touch more warmth into the shadows in here, and that would be really about it. But everything else is looking really great. I think that you should be proud of what you've got, and both of you can go ahead and I would go ahead and call these done for now, and then move on to the next assignment. So really great job by the both of you there. Let's go through alphabetically. So we'll start with Aaron here. So we've got your a reminder of your concept, your old image, and then your new update. This screen looks really great. The true test will be when you start putting some objects in there to create some silhouetted shadows, and I think that'll be really cool. And I think that you're doing a really great job of getting some bounce light onto this character here. That's going to make a big difference. I do think that you should tone down the intensity of this light back here. We don't want it fighting with this light here. We want it to kind of be the secondary light. We want this to be primary. So just maybe making the edge of this a little bit softer and then making it a little bit broad. Making the edge of that a little bit softer and then making it a little bit lighter. You can also soften these shadows from that light on that back wall there. They don't need to quite be that sharp. So increasing the radius, increasing that fall off, and then draping those along the side there. Yeah, let's go ahead and start pushing that, and then pushing the objects back behind them to see how those look, and then we'll start getting some shaders in here. Jen, this one looks really good too. Biggest thing I would do is just kind of darken. Now that we've got the core looking really good, I think we can darken a lot of this area in here. I think we can tone a lot of this down around, just basically that will help brighten up this central area in here and really get our focus in. But I love the shaping. I think the color looks great. You can see some satininess, which is not a word, on some of the shawl and her garments, and I think that's looking great. I think everything else is looking really nice. It's just a matter of darkening around the periphery to really get our focus in there in the center. Kat, so this is your first one. You updated it with a newer submission, and I think it's looking really great. This is the best thing I've seen you create so far. A couple of minor modifications I made here. So number one is if you look in the skin here in the skin that's being hit by the key light, I would just pull out some of the greens a little bit, make it a little warmer. I think it's just getting a little too green, and even after that color correction, you can see down here in the neck still feels a little bit on the green side. So just you might want to modify the color of that light slightly, just so a little less green, a little more red. All right, and then next up, what I did was, so looking at the tip of the cigarette, that's not really how the tips of cigarettes look. They're not that contrasty. They're gonna get glowy bright. So I would add a little bit of a brightness glow. You can do that in post. You can do that in the comp. What I would do is in the render, just at the tip of it. So it's actually brightest right around the base where that's burning, and then the rest of this is ash. So around the base of it, just take out some of those darker elements and make that kind of a pure red. And then in Photoshop or comp or whatever, however you're post-processing it, I would just brighten that up a little bit. And then another thing is, I don't know if Blender can run ambient occlusion, but if you can, I definitely would, because looking at this connection point between the lips and the cigarette gets nice and dark as we go in there, but the lips stay lifted. So I think the cigarette's getting a little bit too dark, and the lips aren't getting dark enough. So we would want to create some sort of ambient occlusion in there to create more shadowing around the tip. Again, this is a still image, so you can paint something in there, but just you really want to, and then you want to darken around the cigarette here, so that kind of falls into place a little bit better. The last thing I would adjust at this point, or there's one more thing after this, but the other big one is the eyes. So you talked about the eye reflections a little bit. Right now there's just slashing going across. I would definitely minimize that in terms of just having the eyes be darker, and then you want, like, we're definitely going to be looking at the eyes to help tell the story. Now, do we want it to reflect something else in the scene? Do we want it to reflect the man in the trunk of this car? Like maybe have a little bit of reflection of the person in there? Or what I did was just like put in a little bit of the cigarette glow in the eyes too. Could be a lot of fun as well to really kind of tie that all together. And then lastly, the one thing I would watch out for is the on the shirt here, it's like the shadow is nice and soft in the neck, and then as it gets on the shirt, it gets a little bit sharp. So, and it's soft here, so it's just right in there, it gets a little bit sharp. And I know you're going to work on the red line right across there, but the rest of it's looking good. And then lastly, we have Ubed. So this one I'm not going to critique too much, just because it's out of focus and hazy, and it looks similar to the other one, so I think the same points are going to ring true on both of them. So with this one, the one thing I was looking at was just how much value we're missing in the high ends. It's fine because I know you're doing a dark overcast day, but I would like to push it just a touch more. And then additionally, I would like to add a little bit more color. This is a little bit too much, but just push a little bit of like a cooler tone, because right now it feels a little bit desaturated. And then lastly, two things. One, I would, these flags are floating. I do want to point that out. These flags here. There we go. And then now that we have established this like cooler color palette, you do have the opportunity to infuse some other ambient lights. It looks like you have some, I don't know if that's a sign or like a hanging candle. That one looks like a sign. But you can infuse some other light sources, either being neutralized or warmer in there as well. So that is it for today. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But looking forward to see how you're progressing. And then tomorrow we're going to announce the winner of the lighting challenge. So I look forward to that too. All right, talk to you all very soon.